Miguel Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio. Happy Wednesday, one day before I'm on the vacay. Got to get out of here for a minute. But before we do that, we got to get into this thing. So, we're going to talk real estate. Last week, we brought this up a little bit. And so today, we got a show, second half. We got to have a couple of folks who going to come on. We're going to talk about them. I'm going to let he introduce them. One of them I know is Matt Coleman, and the other one was her guest. So I'll let her introduce her. But some crazy stories this week. Anyway, let's get started. All right, so let me jump in this thing. One of them days. So here's the thing. I had to run to the city to get all of us.
That's a long drive. That's a long drive to the city from y'all house.
It is, and I had to do it because we're flying out tomorrow, and I was just like, all right, well, we got to get COVID test, and so yeah. So
my mom was supposed to fly out to California tomorrow. She failed her COVID test, so she in the house.
Oh no, Mama!
Yeah,
Mama Blanche
in the house.
Mama Blanche in the house. Oh
She's
Lord,
supposed to be 10 days in Cali for our family reunion. She was so excited. She was. First of all, it's so funny. It's not funny, but it's interesting because she was like on Monday, "Ooh, I feel a tickle in my throat. I'm gonna go. I think I need a COVID test." We were like, "Mom, you don't need a COVID test. You're fine. Go. Stop." No, I'm gonna go to the doctor. Doctor said she was fine. Everything was fine. 2 COVID tests negative. She takes one today, positive.
She, Mama Blanche being honest, because right now in the States, it's not even a requirement for you to have a COVID test to go fly in the States, I don't believe.
She is actually sharing a room with my pregnant cousin. And my mom was like,
and she being responsible.
No. She's like, no, we're not going to put cousin Pam, she's 7.5 months pregnant, so we're not going to do that to her.
No,
so,
we're not going to do that.
Mommy.
So sorry, Mama Blanche. We hope you get better soon. I'm sure you're fine. You're strong as an ox. All right, so we're going to get into it. We got a lot to talk about, Yes. And real estate is going to be our conversation at the bottom of the hour. So we got our guests that are ready to roll. But yeah, man, so let's jump into it. All right. I do want to talk about, did you watch Serena Williams in her deal? Did you watch Serena Williams the other night? And she's playing right now, actually.
She is playing right now. I watched her, part of her, I'm not a big tennis fan, but I did watch part of her match against, what is that child's name?
Oh, I'm not even going to try to say her name. No, we're not doing that.
Starts with a D.
We're not doing that.
Danka? Danikovich? Okay.
Anyway, so she started off, so funny. So go ahead, finish your thought, then I'm coming with my smoke.
But she won all of her sets. It was an amazing match. And what was super cute is that her daughter was wearing a matching outfit, like her mom was on the court.
Kojic praise dance outfit.
When Serena came out with a Kojic outfit and the robe, did you notice it had a robe to it too? Like it was it looked like a choir robe.
Yo, so she was in the post-game interview and she mentioned something about 6 layers. And she removed a couple of layers because it was too hot. And I was just like, it is New York. It is August. It is humid. And here's the funny thing about the Williams sisters. The Williams sisters have never really been known as being, and it's so crazy because, Serena's considered a fashion icon, but mainly because of the black cat suit. And she couldn't help herself. It is what it is.
She was gonna die if she didn't wear it, y'all. That's not a fashion icon. That is a life-saving medical device.
No, we're not talking about the cat suit since she had the baby. We're talking about the way back in the cat suit, the famous anyway.
The FloJo with the one leg.
As men, we know about the all black cat suit from about 10 or 12 years ago.
Keep going before you get yourself in trouble.
You right about that. So. So the thing about it is, when I think about, Serena, by far the number one, I'm so, she is one major away from, tying the all-time record. And so it's so funny. You ought to check the comments.
Why?
Why? Oh, yeah, everybody know about the cat suit.
The real cat suit.
She's one major away from tying the all-time record. And that's the only blemish you can have on her record is that she's not going to get that unless she wins this U.S. Open. which is going to be a tall task. She's playing the number 2 ranked woman in the world right now. And I don't know what the score is. I'll try to put it on one of these screens and see if I can keep up. But bottom line is, Serena Williams is a bad girl. Been a bad girl for a
But the
long
cutest part
time.
was her daughter
Did
was
your
also wearing
son
her
visit
original
around?
beads.
Huh? Say again.
Her daughter was wearing the daughter had braids and beads. It was super cute looking up and seeing the daughter in the original braids, beads, white. Didn't
Yeah.
the white bead didn't match nothing she had on, but it was it was a
But it
white
was just
bead.
like this is a testament to my mama.
Yes,
You know, when I look at all of these sisters, like, and there's so many people now. LeBron's, him and his sons are on the cover of
yes,
Sports Illustrated together. We watched, Tiger Woods. His son is out there mimicking him almost exactly on the golf course. And I think
it's
about, wow, man,
disturbing.
yeah, yeah. Calvin said Serena lost the first set. Well, it's first set, so she's losing in the first set. All right, 5-4. All right, I got folks in the comments that's gonna be keeping us up to speed. All right.
Appreciate a comment, people.
Yeah, for sure. So Serena, whenever it is, if it's tonight, and here's the thing, they had a whole ceremony after the match on Monday night. I was like, y'all just said, okay, y'all couldn't have done this when she finally lost. Like all of a sudden, y'all
I
gonna do
was
this the first
confused
night.
by that too, because now
Yeah,
she's walking in the middle of the court. She did her cute little spin, which I love when she does that.
yeah.
And the girl is saying, "Oh, like I love you." It's like, y'all, we this is the first game. Like,
Nah, they like, okay, all right. So this was the little preem because she got a wild card to even get in there, and now she's playing the number 2 player in the world. So she's gonna have to really show some real talent to be able to pull that off to get past this round. But hey, she's Serena, so we will see. Kobe did drop 60 on his final game in the NBA. All right, and
R.I.P.
speaking of Kobe Bryant, let's roll to the Vanessa Bryant story. Go ahead, jump in.
Yeah, so Vanessa Bryant actually won the recent case. It was a case that she had against the entire county of LA. I want to
Yeah, I
say
think it's
LA
LA
County
County.
that
I
she
believe
had
it's LA
against.
County. Hmm.
And a federal judge awarded her $31 million in damages. And the
Yeah.
co-plaintiff, Christopher Chester, who also lost his family as well. Again, yes, it was against the Los Angeles County, liable for infringing on the constitutional rights in the helicopter crash. And basically, them taking pictures of, Kobe and the other people who died
Right.
was completely inappropriate, disrespectful to the life of Kobe Bryant and the other people who passed away.
Hmm.
Um, I've asked certain questions before, like, how far is she going to take this?
Yeah.
How much too much? So I'm hoping this is where this stops. Not because I don't think she deserves justice or Kobe's memory doesn't deserve respect, but at a certain point, you're keeping this wound so open, so fresh for yourself, you're never going to be able to grieve. And I think she needs to get to that point where it's time to be quiet and grieve and push forward.
Yeah. And one of our guests is saying he's in the queue. I don't see him. So I'll get him to come back.
It's 8:08, sir. So you might have to hang out in there for
It's all
until
good, but
8:20.
I don't even see him in there. So this, we'll straighten it out. Yeah, I'm like I'm like you to agree. We want her to be to get past this. We're now, I guess, it's a little over 2 years. It was January of
Yes.
2020, I believe,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
it's hard, man. It's really hard to see. I saw one of his daughters. His daughter, she's tall. She
Yes,
was
his
walking.
oldest.
Yeah.
And I think she got into UC Berkeley or USC or
Hmm.
some elite school she got into.
Is she a
She's
ball
a
player too? I'm not paying attention to.
no, she's just super smart.
Okay.
She's
Well,
just super smart.
that's good. That's good. That's good to hear. And so, but we wish the best for them, but not just them. And to your point, not just the Bryants, but to all of the families that were affected uh,
Yes.
by this tragedy. And here's the thing. Yeah, somebody needs to pay. And whether or not that money goes to a foundation, we know the Bryants don't need the money. But if
No.
it goes to a foundation, and there's some some punishment that's for the next time that a cop decides something like this happens, and because it's a celebrity, they want to make a show out of it, they'll think twice. And
And this is
mhm,
another weird downside that's never talked about with celebrity. And I hate
mhm,
to harken way back,
mhm,
when Diana died.
mhm.
They had the paparazzi were taking pictures of her
Yep.
body, and it took
Yep.
them they were spending money to keep those out of the press,
Yeah.
except for the car crash ended up everywhere, published, no one cared.
Yeah.
It's
No,
crazy.
it's
People
terrible. And
die
I
in
want to
dignity.
say there's an anniversary coming up. I want to say this might be 25 years since Diana
Yes.
had passed away.
Documentaries galore. Every
Yeah,
network's got a documentary.
yeah, they're coming. They're coming. No doubt about that. This the media loves to run with it. All right, so RIP obviously to Kobe, my favorite. Well, you can't see over my shoulder, but yeah, Kobe
He got
Bryant
a
was,
whole wall, y'all. It's a shrine. It's a
and it
shrine.
wasn't supposed to be. I swear for goodness, it
Mm.
wasn't supposed to be. When I redid my house here recently, and we did, and I said, well, that fits. I'm just like filling some voids. I looked up, oh, I got a Kobe jersey, and that piece up there, the glass piece is dope. But anyway, all right, so let's move on. Yo, Fanny Willis. If you guys don't know who Fanny Willis is, y'all better look her up. Fanny Willis is the DA of Fulton County. And here's
Oh,
what
yeah.
here's why y'all need to know who she is, because she ain't playing with nobody. Let me tell you who she been in the news for over the course of the last year. Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, Young Thug, I think is the rapper's name, Gunner, and now there's some gang members in Atlanta that are watching the internet, and they're finding out where these celebrities live, and they're breaking into their cribs. And basically, Fanny Willis said, okay, y'all don't want me to use your rap lyrics to indict you? Then stop putting them in your lyrics and going and doing the crime. Fanny Willis
And they
is
caught
no
a good
joke.
group of them today.
Yeah. Not Fanny Willis is not playing, and she's unapologetic about the fact that she is not playing with these criminals. And they're not just gang members and rappers, all the way up to Donald Trump, all the way to Rudy Giuliani. Everybody is perp walking almost in front of Fanny Willis right now. But they said that Calvin Ridley plays for the Falcons. Mariah Carey was a victim.
The entire cast of the Real Housewives
Real
of Atlanta.
Housewives of Atlanta, Marlo Hampton, Brad Guzman, who plays for the Atlanta United. So they ain't prejudiced. They got the Hispanic dude who played for the Atlanta United. You got Mariah Carey. You got reality stars. If you got bread and you on Instagram talking about it, these rascals are breaking up in your house. And Fannie Willis said, I'm not playing with y'all. I'm going to put you in jail. Y'all gonna get 20 plus years. Y'all getting life sentences, and don't come to me begging to me about no please, because I ain't playing with none of y'all.
Yeah, and I'm with her. And this is
Mm-hmm.
the one thing somebody brought up that annoyed me. They're like, well, they don't do this when white artists put things in their lyrics. Are white artists talking about robbing people, shooting people, killing people? If they are, let me know, because I've never heard a country singer, a white artist, Jack Harlow. None of these people are doing this. So that's why it's. Am I wrong,
No,
or
you're
am I
not.
just
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't listen to any of that, so I don't know if there's a country singer out here doing what some of these rappers are doing. But here's the thing. Rap fans, black folk, this ain't about rap music. Please stop making it about it. This is
it's
about
not.
criminals that are saying in a rap song, I'm gonna go rob XYZ. You think about back in the day, 50 Cent came into the game, dramatizing this. Yeah, dramatizing. Yeah, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna rob. Here's how you rob the rapper. Here's how you rob. Blah 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 blah. He wasn't really gonna do that. It was just dramatization. These rascals now, they like, yeah, they talking about it
They're
and they're
doing
doing it.
it.
And they're doing it. So yeah, dummy, if you out there talking about it in your lyrics and is evidence to the fact, then yes, they should use those lyrics, because that's evidence to get you and chase you down for what you're doing.
Now, someone did bring up a good point recently that a lot of these artists, rappers, have gotten done so dirty by their labels, like
Mm.
money they're owed or due, that selling drugs or doing illegal stuff was the only way that they could keep the music going or keep functioning. You are making a face, and I'm not even done talking. Fetty Wap is a perfect example. He just got indicted on cocaine charges, cocaine conspiracy.
Okay.
And his whole thing was, I needed to make money to maintain my lifestyle, pay all the child supports I need to do. This is what I did.
Okay. And so,
I'm not saying that makes it right. I'm just
no,
saying
no,
that.
no. I'm with you. I'm with you. If you started out in the game, a lot of the people, and here's the thing. Jay-Z dropped, everybody been talking about it. Jay-Z dropped his lyric on God Did on Gia Khaled's album this last week, and it's breaking the internet. Doggone Ari Melber from MSNBC did a whole 15-minute piece on it that was amazing, breaking down the whole lyrics. So I get it. So, some rappers start off in the game as, they start off as drug dealers, and I'm not condoning that activity. I made my face because, okay, you got in the game, you got your advance, and You blew it on a bunch of jewelry, and then now you going back out stealing and robbing because you blew your money.
I mean,
I
that's
I,
true.
I
You
don't
could have
have a
just
lot of
gone into
sympathy.
prostitution like Blueface. Blueface got an OnlyFans and started prostitution, a prostitution ring, a legal one. So people could have done that.
Jesus. All right. Let's get a
I'm
few of our
sorry. It's
comments.
just a
Let's
fact.
get a few of our comments. And Andre Side said you have a point about white artists. Okay. Yeah. You make a point. You make a point there. He also let us know that for people who didn't, Gail King Gail King was doing her thing, and Gail King, I don't know, she's 60 something years old. She was doing all right over there. Uh, boy, Andre Size, he just getting it in. Oh no, it's Calvin. He's talking about okay,
The real cat suit,
the real
sir.
cat suit.
We will find a picture and post it for all of our fans who want to see the real cat. I just don't. I remember probably when you
How
post
do
the
you don't
picture of
remember
it.
that? I
I'm
only
like,
say I don't remember. If you guys want to get your comments pulled up on, just make sure you drop them in the comments, and if they dope, we're gonna pull them up. All right, as we mentioned today, we're going to be talking about real estate, and because it's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said to them, I said, "Here's the thing. About what we do here at Life on Circle. You can't just give people all salt. You got to give them some sugar. So this is the sugar part. So y'all learning the back the way we produce our show and all the little funny stuff. But we about to give y'all some real seasoning, because here's the thing. Last week we found this story was circulating about this appraisal in Maryland, $472,000 when the black family was there. When it came down to he didn't believe that was the true value of his home, and so he had a white family coming in and he got appraised for close to $750,000, I think it was. And so so I said, man, we got to have a conversation about this. So I've got a brother who I'm going to bring on, who is a lender. We're going to talk about that. We want to talk about the process with a realtor, because most people, this is how you begin to build your wealth. If you have $250,000 in equity in your home, imagine you need to go out here and you want to go get an SBA loan, or you want to get a loan from a bank, and they said, okay, we'll give you $100,000, but you got to put up 1/3. Okay, well, you might have that sitting in the equity of your home, but in that situation, if they were robbed out of $250,000 in the equity of their home, that's, to me, that's stealing from people. That's really hampering them and hindering them to take their lives to the next level. So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit as we bring on our guest. All right, so let's see what else we got to talk about. So what else you want to talk about next?
Time for the new favorite section before we get into our main topic?
You want to get into? Quick. You ready to get into it?
Yes.
You ready to get into it? All right. So first up, tuned in and seeing this segment. This is our new segment we call What? These are stories that are out here in the internets, in these worlds, in these internet streets, and we kind of bugging like, I can't believe this is happening. So here's our top 5 what moments of the week. Number 5, Missouri school wants to return to corporal punishment. These folks losing their daggone mind, man. Like, yo, this is like, we're past that. Like, we're past this, guys. Like, come on, man. Y'all want to take everything back. You want to control women's bodies. Now you want to sit up and here's the funny thing. That's traumatic for me, because as a kid in the early 1980s, there was a school that I went to, Brightwood Elementary, and the principal used to take kids down in the basement of this school, and he showed this little paddle that had holes in it. And yeah. So I'm like,
yeah, that sounds illegal for any era, but they didn't say what age group this is for. Now, are y'all gonna try to do this with high schoolers?
I don't give a doggone. You take one of them paddles at a high school kid if you want. You're gonna be in a fist
fight. That's what I'm saying. If it's for high schoolers, it's gonna be a lot of fights. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of students jumping teachers, and they're gonna get to court. And they're going to be like, well, you put your hands on him. He put his hands on you. It is what it is.
The next thing you know, anyway. All right, I'm not going there. But the bottom line is,
it's a horrible idea.
This is absolutely nuts, man. Guys. Number 4.
Having the parents come to the school and jump the teachers. That would be hilarious.
That's coming too. All right, number 4. Black pastor arrested for watering flowers. This is a story that's in Alabama. And the guy walks up. They got the whole video. I watched the whole police video of it. It's just ridiculous, man. This guy's literally standing there watching. He's like, hey, buddy, what you doing here? I'm just watering flowers. Well, do you live here? Nah, I don't live here. Nope, just watering flowers. Live across the street. Pastor Jennings is my name. My name is Pastor Jennings. Live across the street. These people out of town. They made a whole big old spectacle out of this thing. The woman who called the cops comes over and basically says, hey, I think this is my fault. Yeah, he lives over there. After it's all said and done, these cops are still discussing what charge they're going to give him. Charge him for what?
And see, this is when white people do right. She realized, what I messed up. I've made a mistake. I'm going to go over there and say, y'all, did she not say I messed up?
She said that out her mouth. This is my fault. This is my fault. I made a mistake.
Then there's nothing else to discuss. But then y'all could have gotten y'all car and been like, lady, don't call the police no more for no dumb stuff and going about your business.
So then they made it all about, well, you know, if you just would have cooperated, because the guy said, hey, man, the pastor says, I'm a former police officer. I ain't got to show you no ID. I told you my name. I live across the street. Leave me alone. They was like, no, you got to show me an ID. So then it became this pissing match. It says, okay, I got to show you that and the guy's like, I'm a former cop. I know what I have to do. This is ridiculous. Leave me alone. I'm just They said, how do you do? He said, why are you over here watering flowers? Or how do we know you just here watering flowers? The man said, because I got a hose in my hand. I'm watering flowers. You done walked up on me watering flowers. And so, you know, who knows? This pastor's going to mess around. He's going to end up suing this little itty bitty city with the bumpers falling off of because one of the cops was fixing the bumpers.
They're driving their own car. Just put that little light on top.
Oh wow. You done went back to the Dukes of Hazzard. All right, let's move on. Ooh, Aries Spears Fat Shames Lizzo, number 3. If people don't know Aries Spears, and here's the thing, we will drop the links in our social media if you don't want to do research, we'll pull them in, drop, and y'all can go follow us and check it out. But Aries Spears, when I saw this story come out, I'm just like, dude, you got to be kidding me.
This is the definition of what? Sir, you're sitting there and you sound like a chicken wing is stuck in your throat right now. You are sweating while sitting still. You look like you are sweating gravy. Yeah. But you want to talk about Lizzo being fat and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. Are you kidding me? At least we watched Lizzo. And I'm not a Lizzo fan. I'm not part of the body positive movement. I hate that movement because it's only for fat folk and pregnant women. So it's not really body positivity. Yeah. But we've watched Lizzo play the flute and sing and run across a stage and be in shape. We've watched her work out. We've watched her dance. We have not watched you do anything but open your big fat mouth to say something really stupid.
Oh my God, Aries Spears, man. And I swear, we always talk about social media currency. This has got to be a social media currency moment where he just flat out said, I'm going to sit up here and people are going to pay attention to me because I'm going to go pick on the one that everybody is watching right now.
But the man didn't even ask him anything about her looks. I can see the artist was like, the interviewer was like, oh, are you attracted to a woman like Lizzo? No, he said, yeah, she's got dope lyrics and music. He's like, man, I can't even get a pat across the fact that she's so fat. Like, what? What are you talking about? He said she looks like the poop emoji.
He did. He said like she looked like poop emoji. He also said she looked like a pile of mashed potatoes. And I said to myself, dude.
He looks like a pile of mashed potatoes.
I said, this is absolutely ridiculous. Now here's the thing. Lizzo, say what you want to say. That girl is talented. The music is dope. I'm not a big fan of the whole, going to the Lakers game with your butt out and all that type of stuff. Not a fan of that at all. But that's her market now. She got up there on the the VMAs the other night, and she kind of paraded and celebrated the fact that big girls are in vogue now. She said something to that effect. Girl, do you? Music is amazing. Aries Spears, you played yourself. All right, next up. So, and we're gonna definitely post these tweets. So the young lady. So here's the story. Republicans who criticizing the student forgiveness loans have received PPP loan forgiveness, and all the smoke that came from the White House. If you did not know this story, tell the story, kid.
So basically, the White House Twitter went full dark Brandon, full nuclear, was like, did the whole post of, is this you? So you talking about how bad it is to pay off student loans, but you got $750,000 in PPP loans. Forgiven. You said it was bad about student loans and the
White House are senators. These were senators and elected officials that were criticizing this, and they came right behind them, and they actually had the video of Marjorie Taylor Greene with the PPP loan, which was forgiven. And the video,
I bow down to the White House Twitter.
Oh my God, that White House Twitter social media fam, you guys are the bomb. So it was amazing. All right, so I get to our guests. I know y'all are like, what are we doing? We're gonna bring y'all on in about 4 or 5 minutes, so get ready. So this was absolutely the audacity of these folks is amazing to me. Like
The ball.
you literally are out here, not that you got the money, whatever your money you got to maintain your business, whatever. I ain't even hating on that. I'm hating on the fact that after it's all said and done, you got the forgiveness. That is just the epitome of white privilege. I was just
And
like, this
also,
is insane.
the senators keep portraying everybody who got a student loan like we're some bums who all we do is smoke weed and don't have jobs. I got student loans. I don't have like million, thousands and thousands of dollars. But I have student
Yeah,
loans. I work. I have a job. I have a
yeah,
home. I have a family. I'm
sure.
not sitting on my butt, smoking weed, watching TV, just looking for handouts. I mean, it would be great to have, this $8,000 off my back so I can contribute more to the economy. I'm
Absolutely.
not. But that's nice to say. I'm going to put it in my savings or, do add an addition to
You
my
do
house. But
whatever
it's
you
still
want to
good
do.
things for the
You
economy.
if you decide that you want to sit up here and manage your finances and put an addition on your house, that's your business. That is your business. For
True.
these people to sit up here and say, hey, they gave me $700,000. How dare you? You get $20,000. You got $700,000 and got it forgiven, which means you ain't got to pay it back. Man, shut up. Stop it. And the fact that the White House said, okay, we're not playing with y'all no more. We're not playing softball with y'all. We're going to show everybody exactly what happened with that, and I'm happy that he did. All right, the number one what story of the week. Oscar Mayer introduces hot dog popsicles.
Oh, what? Ew.
Oh, that's just gross. First of all, any meat that's cold, unless it's a sandwich, unless it's sandwich meat. Just thinking about a hot dog that's cold and it's not really a hot dog. I don't know if it's a ice cream flavored hot dog, which is
I
gross.
think
Is
I
the
think
thoughts of that is gross. Like who thought this was a good idea? You know what I mean? Like, do you blend in the mustard with the ketchup in the flavoring? Like, who sat around after smoking some acid at the Oscar Mayer plant and said, this will sell?
this sounds like somebody got high and their mama told them to take the meat out of the freezer and they did it too late. So they're just like, it's not too bad. I'll just eat it like this. It's fine. They're
Oh
like,
my
ooh, give me
God.
a popsicle. It's disgusting. And they've come out with a lot of these weird popsicles because there was a little while ago, there was a ketchup ice cream or ketchup popsicle they were trying to do. Now we've got the Oscar Mayer hot dog popsicle. Just to put myself on blast. I don't know if anybody else did this. My mom's going to be mortified. I used to eat hot dogs raw, and they used to make me so happy.
Man, you should have kept that to yourself.
It was my favorite thing
It's
to do.
gross.
I'm sorry. I used to. I couldn't because I wasn't old enough or allowed to use a stove or the microwave.
Oh my
So
God. All right, so that is your What segment of the week. We appreciate y'all indulging us with the sugar segments of our show, and now it's time for us to give you the salt. It's time for you guys to learn something tonight. And tonight we're gonna talk about real estate, as we mentioned. When I think about, when you're buying a home, where you go?
I'm here. I have to adjust my seat.
Oh,
So I have
I'm
my
like,
hand
what?
over the
You gotta
camera.
give a brother some warning. Like, you just covering your
Just keep
joint up.
talking.
We got a
Okay, we're
major
good.
production
My
going on here.
questions.
All right. So anyway, your wealth, many people's wealth is built in their homes, right? And so when this story came out about what happened in Baltimore, when I talked to some people I knew in the business, it wasn't like they was like, yeah,
Welcome
that's
to Tuesday.
welcome to Tuesday. And you look at this thing and you're just like, this is absolutely insane. And so we wanted to, as we always, if I don't have the answers, I'm gonna go about finding some people who have the
Yep.
answers. And so that's what we're looking to do with this show here today. So let me bring in our guest for today. And Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, how are you?
Good. All right. So today we got two guests today. We wanted to talk, and the one we'll do this in the future is that I wanted to bring someone in the credit space, but we'll do that later. So we have two guests on today: Stephanie Dasher, who is a realtor, in the real estate space, and my man Matthew Coleman. Me and Matt go way back. We both serve in the Atlanta Black Chambers here together. My man from the good Ohio, OHIO. Y'all say hello to the people.
Hey. Oh, excuse me, ladies first.
Hello, how are you, everyone? I'm happy to be here and add a little light to it. Matthew, you're a realtor as well?
No,
I am a lender and a builder.
Oh,
And
awesomeness. Okay,
yeah.
good stuff.
So
Good stuff.
I wanted to get into this conversation, and I did that intentionally because we want to have our realtor, we want to have our because here's the thing, only person, as we mentioned, is that we wanted to get someone who the credit person, because that's an important part of the process, right? And we'll do that in the future. We'll have
Mm-hmm.
that back on in the future. But so when we talked about this story about this situation in Maryland, where this house, this situation, a black couple, they had their home approved. It was to their effect. They said it was approved under $470,000. Had a white family come in there, reset, take the black pictures, took Malcolm X off the wall, and put Elvis up there, and then all of a sudden, it went to being worth seven. I don't know if that happened. I just still give y'all some sugar. But all of a sudden, it was worth $750,000. Now some people say they call that's a huge difference. But Sharon, Stephanie, I want to start with you. When you read that story, what was your first reaction?
That there's a lot of information missing in the story.
Okay.
That, unfortunately, they use that line a lot to create noise and chaos in the news. I do believe that there is situations that we have biased people in our industry in every area of it, from lending to being a realtor to being an appraiser. I do believe that we have biased people, and not everybody is ethical. I mean, that's why, we have a code of ethics, because we are supposed to be holding people to the higher standards.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that in this particular case, what I gathered from the article is that the family wanted to get a refi loan, and I'm happy that the lender is here because he can elaborate more on that. But
Mm-hmm.
the family wanted to get a refi loan, and in that loan, they had an appraisal to come out and value the home. The most important thing that was missing in that article was the time frame that they originally started this process. They said something important. They said they had the loan and they went through one particular lender.
Mm-hmm.
That lender told them that the appraisal was 400,000. I'm not looking at the article right now, but I believe it was something like 400,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the height of the pandemic, you could have a home today that appraises at 400,000, and then you can have another five closings. That this is what was happening in the pandemic. Another five closings, happened so soon, after, and totally changed the whole market value of that community. So they had the house appraised. They went months later, went to another lender. And when
Mm-hmm.
they went to another lender, they had the house appraised again, and it came back 7. The variables that they mentioned was that there was they had a white person to come in. They said they cleaned up the house. That's major, because one of the things in preparing your home for an appraisal, you really should at all time, no matter what, if you got good guests coming over, you clean up. But we
Mm-hmm.
don't know necessarily what that meant. Did they do any type of repair work in the house? What do they mean they cleaned up?
Yeah,
Did they change the curb
true.
appeal, of the home? And when they took down those photos, did that now mean that they had to paint the wall and give it a fresh look?
Mm-hmm.
They went from one demographic neighborhood, and now they went to another demographic neighborhood. And it's probably because an appraiser has to go by the recent comps that are happening. We're talking months later. In the height of the pandemic, absolutely, it was going to be a change in comps.
Well, let me ask you
Now,
this, and Matt, I'm
mm-hmm,
coming to you. Okay,
yeah.
whenever I done bought a few cars in my day. They always tell you when you want to go trade in your car, go spend $100, get it detailed, because that's going to make a little bit of a difference in your potential value of the vehicle. But we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about potentially $250,000 difference with some paint on the walls, and I don't know about that one. Matt, what's your thoughts?
No,
But
and
Go ahead, Stephanie, respond, and then Matt, you go ahead, bro.
yes, I would like to hear Matt's viewpoint on it, but I will elaborate on that 250,000. I don't honestly know if that was an exaggeration of that article, and I'll tell you why. Because of the ethics standards. The last appraiser God bless him if he did that, because the standards that they have to go through and how much they're fined for doing something like that, the fine for an appraiser doing something of this sort, I don't remember, but I think it's like it could be up to like 100,000. And please don't hold me to that number, but it's like like a huge amount. I know that there is discrimination in the housing market. I really do. I'm discriminated against by being a Black agent. I feel it from some of my other peers. I know it's true. But in this particular article, I believe that they were trying to start another race bait in our community, getting us all fired up. It happens every time in election season.
Okay, well, that's we'll continue that conversation. I want to hear
Yeah.
Matt, you as a lender, you see these type of situations. You see this appraisal come over. Do your radar, do your antennas go up and say something ain't right about what I'm looking at here? And what would be your response in that scenario?
Well, I think we know it's racism, right? We live in Atlanta. We're privileged. I hear her objective opinion, and some of what she's saying, if not all of which is what she's saying, is possible. So we can look at it from that perspective. But then we can also say $250,000. That's true. Before the pandemic, an appraiser comes out. There's ethical things, but let's just not allude to that this happens, right? So we'd have to dig deeper. I think she's given a great perspective, but it's like politics. If we believe what they're saying, right, then it was blatant, right? Your point about the 250,000. If we were pre-pandemic, where prices were, or during the pandemic, where rates were super low, nobody, like now, prices are going down, right? Prices have dropped. If it was truly 300,000, nah, that's too much of a swing on a property. If it was a $2.5 million house and it went 300,000, cool. But to have a property that is 40% cut, there's some objectivity. And I know that, I can call one of my national lenders. Like, I do private money lending, right? So I'm for investors. So it does matter, to your point, if they did an addition or repainted the whole house. That's going to significantly.
Yeah, I was going to say.
What's that?
No, what I was going to say is, with those kind of changes, because again, for example, with my home during the pandemic, we weren't doing any additions. Now, after post-pandemic, things have gone back to normal. We're adding an entire room onto our house. So that would change the value of the home.
Yeah. You're now, that's like saying I got a 3-bedroom compared to a 4-bedroom. Right. But those are the, you brought up great points. And I think the point that you're making is that it could be race baiting. It could be politics, but being objective, it could be what it looks like. And I think in our community, when we look at what's going on, I love your topic. First of all, your 5 topics are hilarious, right? I love that.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump in and say something like, God, no. Anyway, so the reality is we need more facts, right? And then what are facts?
Yeah.
For those people that are involved, I would personally have a hard time thinking that those people would get on, speak about their plight, and no pun on the objective side. But if you tell me, hey, I got assaulted, and well, what did you say to that person? Well, you still can't put me in the mouth. I mean, so for them to get on and say, this is what's happened to me, this is what's happened to me. No pun on what you're saying, but I think it does it a disservice to discredit what they're saying. Because this is from the person's mouth. I'm just saying, hey, look, this is like Democrats, Republicans. You had your chance,
Well, here's the thing.
I have really
go ahead,
fast
Kia.
really
Go ahead, Kia.
So if this is a race baiting story, let's just say it might be, it could be. What's the point of the race baiting story? Are we supposed to keep Black people only working with Black realtors? Are we not supposed to sell our homes? Like, what if it is a race baiting story? What is the benefit of our community of a story like that when it comes to real, home selling and realty?
Because it keeps us in a particular neighborhood.
Okay.
Things like that will keep you saying, you know what? Forget it. I'm not even going to try to move over there, because you start getting the attitude where they don't even want me over there. Now, in this particular unique situation, this is a refinance. So it doesn't really matter. On the point I just made wouldn't apply to these particular homeowners' way of thinking. They were doing exactly what half of America did, take advantage of the fact that those interest rates were so low and they're trying to pull equity out of their home. So they did absolutely nothing wrong. And I do agree. Why would they go to the news with something as drastic as this if they didn't have any merit to their story? Me personally, I do believe that having the white gentleman in the home, speaking, because I don't know if they were there the day that the appraisal came. See, a lot of times when the appraiser comes on refis, they might not even be there. So they're only the appraiser is, kind of doing his thing or whatever, not really trying to understand the home. When somebody's at the home, then you're talking, you're like, oh, hey, did you notice that my countertops that I had them, that these are granite countertops?
But
You
here's the
might
thing.
have,
I got to jump in here real quick. And here's why.
okay.
Here's why I got to
Yes,
jump in
bless
here.
you.
The appraiser, and you guys let me know, you guys are in this space. An appraiser's job, to me, I would think, is to be as objective as possible.
Absolutely.
Right? And so if you walk into this house, I understand if I got rats running around in the house and smell like diapers and stuff. Yeah, that's something different. But just because I got black faces on my wall,
Correct.
And so that's where I'm like, hold up.
I believe that.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. The problem is that they said that there were black faces
statement.
on the wall. It was appraised at one value. They brought in an appraiser, whitened up the home, and then all of a sudden it was worth $250,000 more.
Same time frame, right?
This wasn't much and if it say it was, Stephanie mentioned that there was some time elapsed, 6 months or whatever. That's $250,000. And so
which happened during the pandemic, hands down. It happened in many communities.
Not on a $500,000 house. It didn't go from 250 to 500.
In Florida, it did. I can tell you.
I personally don't want to, and this is, maybe it's the chamber, maybe it's me looking out for my people. Whether it was this situation or another situation, that's like saying racism doesn't exist. I feel like I'm going to believe my brothers and sisters, and if it does nothing but to heighten the awareness that we as black folks have to be conscious that it's happening.
So let me ask you this. So what if I'm a homeowner and I believe that my home has not been appraised fairly? What am I supposed to do? Is it Stephanie, is that something that I can come to you as my realtor and say, hey, I don't think this is right. I need you to go find me another appraiser. Matt, you as a lender, you're in a situation that says this doesn't look right. You need to go find who is protecting the customer in this situation.
Let's let Matt tackle that first.
Yeah, and you can go on Zillow. I mean, Zillow's not accurate. It's Redfin. They're not accurate, but it's not going to be a $250,000 swing. You got 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,500 square feet. It's going to give you a value, right? It's going to give you comps in the area. Yes, if you go in your house and your walls are falling down and it's not taken care of, that appraiser is going to mark off an amount. But I truly know, unless it is falling over, a 30-40% swing is ridiculous. It's just no way it's possible.
And I guess the biggest thing for me, and Stephanie, I'm gonna give you a chance to respond. This, as we mentioned at the top, there are people who have no other way. They don't know how to create wealth outside of, hey, I'm gonna take this. I'm going out here. I want to start this business, and I'm going to take some money out of the equity of my home, and I'm going to take $50,000. I'm going to put it into my business because I'm not going to get a better interest rate anywhere. You're not going to borrow money, and Matt, you challenge me because you're in the business. But you can get a better rate, even at the interest rate now it's almost 5 or 6%. You're not going to get many situations where you can get loans to start a business at a better number than that. So now, if you take $250,000 out of somebody's hands, to me, that's theft. That's stealing opportunity from a family to get themselves and move from that lower middle class home to that middle class home, to build a business, to do things that Matt and I, all of us here at Entrepreneurs, we're all passionate about. Getting black folks out of this, 1% of our businesses have employees. That's the part that kind of gets to me. That what is the protection? Because when it's all said and done, everybody on that side, the realtor, the lender, the appraiser, you guys are all in the same industry. I'm the customer that's counting on you guys to have ethics to say, you're not going to screw me. This is the value that I have in my home. Now I can take this money, go pay off my child student loan debt, so the Republicans ain't all on my back. That's a whole different conversation. But all jokes aside, that's a huge deal. And I really want you guys to help our audience kind of figure out if they find themselves in this scenario, if they feel like they're in this scenario, what are their options? And Stephanie, I want to start with you.
Okay, a real estate agent and a broker can give a client what's called a broker's price opinion. And it goes very similar to, it is not an appraiser because obviously we're not appraisers, so we can't call it an appraiser, but we're basing it on the same standards that an appraiser will have. So if I come to you and I give you a broker's price opinion and I say, in my opinion, based on the current comps and the condition of your home, I believe that you should be able to get 500. I think you should be 500. You're talking to the lender and you said, I had a professional price opinion done. I'd like to do a refi on my home. The appraiser is ordered. When they go out and they do the comps, you can use that professional price opinion and say, I had this done, and these are the comps that my broker came back and said that we should be using for this home. Can you justify why they didn't use these particular comps? How did they come up with the number? You have another third-party person who has nothing to gain from this. This is a refi deal. You have nothing to gain. You're showing this particular.
What does that mean? What does that mean? It's a refi deal, so they have nothing to gain. Please explain that to the audience. Why you said that?
A broker or a realtor, we make no money off of a client going to a lender and getting equity out of their home. We don't make any money off of that. We're just providing a service to that particular client. You're my client. I sold you that house. You come back to me and you say, hey, Steph, I want to refi now. Absolutely, I'm going to help you. You're my client, not just because the house has been, sold. I mean, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're my
good.
client. I'm going to help you.
That's good.
The important thing is, if they have that broker's price opinion, they should make sure that appraisal is done soon after, because we don't want to get into a situation like it was with the article where they came months later. Kind of makes the argument a little bit hard. I do 100% agree that a $250,000 difference, somebody better have pen to paper and a strong story as to why they had a difference like that.
Yeah.
But we're just talking a $40,000 difference, $50,000 difference or whatnot. For any person wanting to get a refi or wanting to purchase a home, position yourself to receive it. Make sure that you have your home, just like you said, your example earlier, pay the money, get the house, get the car clean, and you get the most money. You want to position yourself so that your home is in a position to get the most money. Make sure the curb appeal is done. There's like a whole list of things that I won't take up,
that's
your
good.
time
and
with.
I encourage you to drop that information. Drop it in the chat after the show. We want you, if you have a website that you got information, please do. We
absolutely.
appreciate you coming on the show. I want to go to the comments here real quick. There is a brother here, W. Devin Cobb. He said, I can give you real examples of valuations jumping exponentially in a very short time period. Devin, man, if you're a realtor or if you're in the space, let us know what type of work you do. Drop that in the comments.
Devin is a realtor. Devin is to get guests on this show. I was inundated with realtors, and he's one of the realtors that contacted me.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So, I just, I look at this situation, and ultimately we saw said and done. You guys are the pros. We're the customers. We want to be able to make this transaction, which a lot of us, most people are not like, we're going to go about it, and we'll go about refine every time now and again if the interest rates drop. But you just imagine that 65-year-old retiree that's this is all they got. Yeah. This is it. And to go in there and take advantage of them sickens me to my stomach. And I'm hoping that, share this information, people. We'll talk about this more in the future. Kia, go ahead.
Before we wrap, can I ask one fun question? I always have to ask a fun question.
Okay, here go to Sugar. Come on.
Squatters. Why do they exist? Why are they allowed to exist? They suck so hard. Why are squatters allowed to go in people's house and go, well, I got this piece of junk mail here. Now this is my home. How is this a thing? Who wants to
Let
go
me tell
first?
you.
Really
Yeah.
quickly, quick answers.
Yeah. Okay. You go.
Go ahead, Matt.
I mean, I think from a realtor perspective, like I said, I'm more on the investment side. So we've kind of dug into that issue, which is more a real estate question. So for me, even looking at those drastic changes, I'm using a common sense perspective based upon, like I said, I don't know how far that article was, but if it's a $500,000-$600,000 house, I think it's relative to the amount. When we talk about squatters, I mean, you gotta think, if it's a squatter, somebody's not taking care of their property. You're talking about someone who has allowed someone to live there that does not go by there. So the laws that allow them to do that, I mean, I'm gonna let her answer that because
But also,
I'm
we
just
see what happened with Airbnbs. Y'all remember a girl from a couple months ago who went out of town, told old girl, you can stay here for the week.
Oh, I
and old
remember
girl
that
was like,
story, and she wouldn't leave.
I get mail here now. I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
How
that was
is
crazy.
that allowed?
Yeah. Well, see, the problem with that particular story is because she didn't even know that the girl didn't leave. She was leaving it up. Her housekeeper is the one that came over.
Yeah.
When you're going to do Airbnb, you are a landlord, and there are certain things that you need to have in place so that you have the right to evict. Squatters happen because you just can't kick somebody out of their home. What needs to change is the definition of your home. Everybody, in order to be evicted from a home, needs to go through due process of the courts. If you have someone that is a squatter and now they're saying that they have the right to call this my home, you have to go through the due process of evicting them. In order to prevent someone from having the right to call your home their home, you've got to have the proper lease paperwork in place so that you can enforce that lease and do what you need to do to get them out.
So a
So
freeloading
squatters,
family member that you
But
did
you,
something nice for can just be
but
in your house.
yeah,
but you bring up a point when we look at taxes in different states. Each state
Yeah.
is different.
Each
Some
state is
states
different.
are straight,
Sometimes each county is
beneficial to
different. It could be
landlords.
different in county and city to city. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's the bureaucracy when we talk about
Yeah.
politics
Right.
and whether we're for like no Airbnbs.
Yeah.
It's the fight that we have to
Yeah.
go through as
Yeah.
real estate professionals.
Hey guys, I really do appreciate you guys for coming on tonight and being so honest with us and taking our jabs a little bit because we want to get to the bottom of this. You guys are Matt, Stephanie's great to meet you.
yes,
Man,
nice to meet you too.
here
and
we go.
I would
He
love
worked,
to
Mr. I
elaborate
work out.
more
Want
on
to
the
flex on it. This is not the time
Oh, I
for
didn't
that.
mean that. I was saying we
And
tough.
yes, Stephanie, you'll be another
We go
time.
back.
I'm
Okay.
collecting a list so that we can have people back
Okay.
on the shows for different topics so that we can talk about different things. Because
Yeah.
the squatter thing, I hate. That's the thing I hate.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
hate that.
Okay.
I would be more in tune to talk about investments. I provide money
Okay.
for people who want to buy rental property, do fix and flip, new construction.
Yeah.
And to your point about generational legacy and being able to take that $250,000 and not just buy one property, but understand there are products out there which you could take
Got
that
it.
$250 and buy three. But be educated.
Yeah.
She has a lot of knowledge in the real estate space. And just one quick point about that person or some person, get a second and third opinion. It's
Yeah.
too many real estate agents
Yeah.
that you can't get an opinion and lenders that you can't say. I had a gentleman call me today about an estimate. Well, I know it's $50 to $75 a square foot. His estimate was in line. You could ask 3 people that. So just ask more people.
Yeah.
Got it.
Man, I appreciate y'all for real. You guys did an amazing job tonight. And we're gonna have you back on really, really soon. All right,
Bye,
let's
Thank
wrap this
you.
thing up. Let's wrap this thing up. And I'm trying to see if I can go ahead and pull because I know you want to talk about this
Quick note,
best and worst
Alexis
dress.
the intern. You guys don't know Alexis the intern. Please make a note of these guests so that we can have them back on the future for their respective topics.
Absolutely.
So what are we ending the show with? What cool topic do you have for me? Is it Chris
Hey,
Rock?
so here's what I do want to get this VMA story in, but there's a big story that has happened in Nigeria. Nigeria is the first, and I didn't read the show notes. Nigeria is the first country to legally ban white
Foreigners.
talent from being on their ads in Nigeria.
It's not just white talent.
It's foreign.
Anybody who's not Nigerian.
Anybody who's not Nigerian, but what precipitated it was that they said that not less than 50% of the talent in the ads you would see and hear in Nigeria would be British art, British acts, and you look at the nation of Nigeria, you look at it and say, what's the ethnic breakdown of Nigeria? It ain't even about ethnic, it's about tribes. It's the ethnic tribes. So kudos to Nigeria to say we're going to it's about hiring their local talent in the nation of Nigeria, which is well over, I believe, 22 million people or more. I might be more than that. I may be way off.
But what's weirder than that Nollywood, I know you may not be familiar with the term Nollywood, but Nollywood is like the Nigerian version of Hollywood or / Bollywood or whatever. They have shows that are on Netflix right now. When you go to the Brain Shop, that's all these women watch. These people are famous. So why not use them in the ads? Why are you using British people? That's Indian people, Americans.
Exactly.
It's weird.
That's a whole that's a whole nother thing. We've been indoctrinated not to love ourselves as Black folks, and kudos to Nigeria.
Well, no, I didn't say white. See, now you're changing. I'm not saying white, but I'm saying like instead of having what is her name? I can't think of her name, but like Two-Face, who's a rapper there. Instead of having him on your Coke commercial or whatever, y'all got 2 Chainz over here in y'all commercials. Like, why? When you got a very famous rapper over there who is very popular.
Correct. Well, the point I was making was that they are starting with the fact that let's get these British people and their voices and their faces off of our ads, which primarily are white folk in Nigeria.
Gotcha. Okay.
And saying, let's promote our people who happen to all be Nigerian and happen to 99% be Black. And so that's where the precipitous of that article is. But we'll keep following that story. All right, so let's move over real quick to this story. You want to talk about the best and worst dressed celebrities.
I don't have my notes for it because I didn't prep well before the show.
Right.
Let's just go ahead and scroll down. I think we eventually should get Chloe Bailey.
We already talked about Lizzo. What is
she
wearing? What is she wearing?
She is wearing John Paul Gaultier.
Y'all can come over here for me all you want. That looks like a trash bag. Period. Point blank. It looks like a Glad bag. Say what you want to say. That is not flattering at all. Come for me if you want. All right. So Blackpink. I guess is they are kind of like the Korea. They're like the girl. What's the famous Korean group that's out of now?
It's called. First of all, you're talking about K-pop. K-pop is what these girls are.
Right. But there's a famous. There's one really famous guy group that's
BTS.
really BTS. You trying to bring me the smoke. I'm trying to catch up on the
I told you that this is how it's going to go, but all these girls look gorgeous. They're all wearing different style of dresses. They're all wearing different shapes. It's really big on the girl groups. Destiny's Child never could get down how the different but same look should go. It was always very same, but these girls got it down packed. I love their look.
Yeah. Okay,
except for one old girl's dress is too short. It's a little short for me. It's a little short. It's a shirt.
Well, she's a kid, so. All right, Jack Harlow is in Hermes. What do you think?
He's in what?
Is it Hermes? Isn't it Hermes?
It's Hermes.
You're not going to be playing me like that.
This is hilarious. This is why I wanted to do this segment.
And it's so funny. My wife is a fashion queen. If she heard me say that, she would be looking at me the same way, just like, what is it? Hermes?
No. It's Hermes. I like this look on him. It's really cute. I hate the shirt. That weird scarf thing he's got going under the jacket. It's too much of a look. It's awful.
I saw him. He was at a celebrity basketball game at Core 4, one of my clients, about a year and a half ago. And he was playing. It was like Quavo was playing and some other people were playing. And I was like, who is this white boy that's fouling everybody? And he can't hoop. They were like, that's Jack Harlow. Okay, who's that?
And you still went, I'm sorry, who? I'm sorry, what? But you know what's so funny?
Now he's got one of the biggest songs in the world. Huh?
I did the same thing. I was with a group of friends. They're like, oh my God, I love this song. It's Jack Harlow. I was like, what? Who's Jack Harlow?
And so he brought out.
Like I was an alien.
He brought out, his song is dope. That song he's got out now. And
First Class with Fergie.
First Class with Fergie, and Fergie came out. That was amazing. All right, so who is this? Tate McRae. We got about a minute left. Who is Tate McRae?
Scroll back. Scroll down. I don't care. She's wearing a cave woman outfit. Go to the next one. Let's see. No. Don't like this one either. You're
Serena
too naked.
is wearing
Where's Chloe Bailey? There we go. This is how you wear a look that's really sexy, but you don't look like a slut. And I use that word because you look at two girls beforehand. Other girl was half naked. Other girl got giant cutouts. This is the perfect amount of skin and split and form that needs to be. Chloe Bailey always dresses well. She's gorgeous. This is a great look. I love the sparkle. I love everything about this.
No, she looks good, and I think that, you know, it seemed like she all of a sudden. Can I say she looks good? Is that okay?
Yes, you
Okay.
can.
All right. So, you know, I was watching with Saran. What was the show? Grownish, right? That's what she's on
Yes,
with the other girl from Blackish. And it seemed like
Haley.
as soon as her sister said she was doing the Disney stuff, she said, you know what? It's a wrap. I'm going hard in the paint. And now Chloe Bailey is known as one of the sexiest young women in the space. And so,
But both of them are. Both of them have gone. Chloe and Haley both have gone ham on the
Okay.
I'm sexy, which is really interesting that Chloe is doing this now because she's going to be in the live action Little Mermaid. So I'm not sure if
no,
Disney is all
that's the
about.
other one. She's Chloe. She's not the one that's going to be in the Mermaid. It's the other one.
No, it's
Haley,
this
are you-
one.
I don't think you're right about that.
Bet me $100.
I want my money.
You know what, people? Before we get off the show, let me just see if I'm wrong or not.
I know you're wrong, because it's the smaller one. All right, so
Live action Little Mermaid.
hey,
Dang
you're
it!
wrong. You're wrong. Give me my $100 cash app, and on that we out. Peace.
Oh, I lost. It's so sad. This is awful. I'm gonna go cry because I don't have $100